Good morning and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show. I'm D Lake. Thank you. Yeah, no opening music today. Well, we just got to jump right into all the amazing, bizarre news stories that we have going on.
Wild, action-packed week.
Totally action-packed. I'm joined this morning by Kyle Phillips. Kyle.
Thanks for having me on, D-Lake. Excited for this action news-packed Saturday. So much to talk about.
So much. And we're also joined by Sam Ibita-Ganji of The Correct News.
Greetings, unsettled souls. Welcome to the Saturday edition.
Great, great, great. And Sam, I see you're wearing a Pac-Man shirt. Have you seen that Budweiser commercial for Bud Light where the guy runs around in a real life-size Pac-Man video game? It's pretty good.
No, I haven't watched any of the Super Bowl commercials yet. I was going to, but since I'm going to be watching it and avoiding Katie Scary, who's going to be destroying halftime, I didn't want to watch it early.
Right, yeah. I mean, I was trying to watch like TV shows on the internet, and that commercial just kept playing on YouTube like all day yesterday.
I'm gonna use the bathroom and pretend I'm going on her during halftime. It'll be great.
I actually only saw one of those commercials because I try and avoid them. I try and avoid the Super Bowl in general. I think it's just a mass programming tool.
See, I was looking for someone to fix that, so I'm glad you said it. It can be, but to some people like me, it's more of this is what I'm doing when I'm not looking up the Saturday edition news stories, or when I'm not doing the views or whatever, not working with the band. That's kind of like relaxed time. Is what
I can respect people who enjoy the game, enjoy strategy and stuff like that, and just watch it for fun. But the dude who's got the hat and the jersey, and he sees somebody with a different hat and jersey, he's like, "Your hat and jersey sucks. Mine's better." And the other person's like, "No, your team sucks and mine
That's
is."
Scary.
I write those people off. I can't even talk to you.
That's like Kyle with his Superman shirt, and I'm wearing an Iron Man shirt. We might have a big problem. But guys, look, let's get serious. Let's get to today's top headline news. A fat man eats a vat of Kraft macaroni and cheese. Kyle.
Yeah, that's Fat Man. His name, what is it? Give him the credit he deserves. What's his YouTube name?
All right, let's check out Fat Man on my.
He's gonna need the money to pay for the.
It's Fat Man mirrors again, and I don't have the sound going for this guy, but there he is.
All you need to know is that he says over and over again, "Fat man eating a vat of Kraft mac and cheese."
Of macaroni and cheese.
There you go.
That's right, folks. I'm gonna eat this vat of macaroni and cheese. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, can you believe that he is going to eat that whole vat of macaroni and cheese? It looks like he can barely put it away. Look at this guy.
In 11 minutes.
He's so excited.
Yeah, Sam, we're going to watch the whole 11 minutes. Okay.
No, I mean, he eats it in 11 minutes.
That's impressive.
I imagine he does. This video has 47,178 views. 160 people seem to like it, and 123 people seem to dislike it. Kyle, can you address what that means for this gentleman as a YouTuber?
Yeah, why don't you scroll down to those comments really quickly and just read the first one off the stack there, and I think it explains it perfectly. Or go to newest, go to show newest or whatever. I think you can do that, right?
Comments, newest first. Okay.
There
I love
you go.
videos like this because while everyone comes here to leave hateful comments, he's getting paid by YouTube for those same people's viewerships. No matter how cleverly assholish a comment you leave is, he wins. He already won just by you clicking. Ha ha, I like it. Oh, that was Nosehair 515. Kyle?
That was me like 10 minutes ago. But look at all the comments. It's just people like, "You need help, you fat fuck, blah, blah." And it's like, yeah, but by you taking the time to watch this video and hate it, he's already won. Like, he won. He got your click, and that's what he was after. So, you lose. He wins.
Yeah,
I'm not supporting obesity or anything like that, or, I'm not supporting this guy's lifestyle,
Well,
but I
have
am
you
supporting
noticed-
his YouTube marketing.
Have you noticed that I covered it in the last one that I did, that there's this movement to, again, I don't think anybody should be bullied or harassed. I'm probably the chubbiest Media Speaks member, and when I was younger, I was, all out fat. But I don't think, just because I don't think people should say, hey, fatso, and throw stuff at you when you walk by. We are sort of getting into this, yes, encouragement mindset where, you know, don't even try to not be heavy. And I almost wonder if on the extreme end, it's another end of the eugenics movement. On the non-extreme end, it's just a really, really bad idea to get votes or to get clicks or to get supports or like or whatever it is that you're after by telling everybody that no matter what, they're okay. And if you say anything against it, then you're prejudiced against fat people. They're turning the thing about if you don't like gang members, you were prejudiced against black people. I've always said that I thought that was racist. Now they're doing it with this.
And I agree with you, and I'm glad that you brought that point up, because recently there was like a model who, I forget what the deal was, but she made like some video.
She's on that was my last show.
Yeah, she did like explain that to the viewers. I didn't read up on it, but it was like she said something about like #FatPride or something like that and got a modeling gig.
She has a one of the most lucrative modeling gigs signed in the last 6 months, and she is simply huge. And she's talking about how she's an important role model for girls so that they know that they can have any body type and still be okay as a person.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. That you're not going to be okay as a person. You're going to have a life that's very, very bad.
No.
I'm glad I'm not heavier. My fat ass wouldn't be able to walk up the snowboard hill as often as I do. So I'm not a role model either. It applies to me as well.
I don't think that we should be going around like fat shaming and making fun of people because they're fat and things like this. But the fact of the matter is that it affects your health. It's not a positive thing. It is a negative thing on you and on people around you, and we shouldn't be supporting it. In the same way, like my stance on abortion is that abortion should be legal for, you know, the first like trimester, early term abortion. If you want to have abortion 6 months in, I'm sorry, but that's you just procrastinating on a very serious event. That's not the type of shit that you put off for next week. You got to figure that out quick. But if somebody decides to have an abortion for whatever reason in the first month of pregnancy, I think they should be allowed to do that. But we shouldn't be saying fucking #abortion pride, you know? We shouldn't be saying that that's okay and I'm going to support you in it. Like, it should be legal, but I'm not going to give you a fucking round of applause for it. In the same way, like being fat, I'm not going to give you shit for it. That's your life choice, but it is a choice 99% of the time. Most fat people, they say they have a thyroid problem, but they can't even point to their thyroid. Those people do exist. There are people with thyroid problems. But the vast majority of people eat too much and don't walk enough, and that's the simple fact of the matter. And I'm talking about extremely obese people, by the way. I'm not talking about somebody who's a little bit chubby, a little bit overweight, even quite a bit overweight.
Look, my whole life there's always been pretty and plump, like stores, and big and beautiful is a thing, and there's a lot of dudes that, I mean, they see this chick right here in the red, that really gets them going.
For sure, they're into it. BBW.
Yeah, they want that one chick with the gigantic hips to like sit on their face and stuff. I mean, those people exist. They're out there. So does Fat Man who eats a vat of Kraft macaroni and cheese. He's almost 5 minutes in. Oh, it looks like. But here's
my problem. We're going in this like extreme direction where like you're not, and I agree, you shouldn't make fun of fat people, but like it shouldn't be like good for you for being fat. But on the other side of the spectrum, I smoke. D-Lake smokes. If you're smoking, D-Lake, how many times have you had somebody walk past you on the street, put out that cigarette, and like give you shit for having a cigarette? Like, that happens all the time, right?
I mean, I get more people coming up to me saying, hey, can I bum one of those cigarettes? But I did have a guy walk past me the other day, and I was
my girlfriend smokes like a chimney. That's a good. I know what you mean.
Right, yeah. He kind of did
here's my point, is that it's total. Yeah, it's socially acceptable in our culture to which, hey, a smoker is making a choice that affects their health negatively, but look at them next to each other. The number one cause of preventative death in this country is heart disease, not cancer, but we pretend that like being fat is totally okay, smoking is so horrible, when they're both life choices. And here's my question, Sam, you're a non-smoker, right?
To be clear for people that might hear it, if someone lights a Black and Mild or if someone lights, I may hit it once or twice. If there was a such thing as a social smoker, I would be it, but you never hear that.
But you don't buy cigarettes. You don't
Never
buy
buy
packets.
cigarettes. I've never. Yeah. No.
Okay. So if you had a choice to sit, you're on a plane, you're going to Hawaii, an 8-hour flight, and you have a choice who just smoked a pack of cigarettes before he got on that plane and just reeks of smoke, or you can sit next to the fat guy who just ate a vat of macaroni and cheese. Who do you want to sit next to on a plane? Honestly.
As long as they weren't Misties, it would be the fat guy. But if the guy probably wouldn't. But if the big fat lady smoked Misties, if the thin person smoked Misties, I'll sit by the fat guy. Misties have this smell from there that are like sewage bad. But otherwise, you're right.
But
as long as they're not Misties.
But they say, like, secondhand smoke and smoking affects people around you, so you do agree, then, that being morbidly obese affects people around you. If you have to sit or a bus, or you go into a movie theater where the seats are predetermined, or a
secondhand
theater...
smoke being worse than regular smoke. I think that's a propaganda lie. That would be impossible.
No, yeah, that's total bullshit. But let's agree, all right, there is always going to be some effect that you have on people around you, but which is a bigger effect? Smelling like smoke, or when you walk into a theater to see a play, and you look and you find your seat and it's next to a big smelly fat guy, which one are you which one do you go, oh, fuck? And I'm not saying we should make fun of fat people or anything like that, but let's acknowledge that it is something that affects the people around them, and it is a health concern.
God rest his soul, my dad was a huge guy, and he always said that it was going to take years off his life, and it did. But I also mentioned something in the video, and I'd like you two's opinion on this. My concern with this has absolutely nothing to do with weight, and I hope that that's what even the fattest people that would ever listen to the end of that show got from it. Wasn't that it's weight. It's that we are in love with this country of now making it so that anybody can be a success, and I'm going to get to why in a second. You have Rihanna with no talent whatsoever. Most of her songs are cut and paste prefabs from Logic. If for those listeners who don't know what that is, the song was written before she got it. She just had to put it together. It's like a kit car. There is auto-tune to fix your singing. She just hires guitar players if she needs a guitar player. She in and of herself has no talent at all, and we have hundreds of these. We can name writers that are like that. We can name sitcoms that are not funny that are like that. And the reason they're doing it is because if you look at, say, one that would come to my mind, Jan, the keyboardist from Children of Bodom, nobody virtually can play like this. He's like this musical keyboard genius. So you don't want to make him popular. You want to make the person popular where everybody you know in their bedroom is better than the person that's popular. That way, it makes you feel like you're part of the group, and you're more likely to buy into it. And that is what I worry about with this whole fat modeling direction. It has nothing to do with the weight of the person. It has everything to do with the direction of the freaking country.
Well, but is that a direction of the country? Because that's something that's been going back literally hundreds of years, whether you go back to the 60s with the monkeys or whether you go back to the 1800s. The
best used to be pushed.
The bearded woman.
But they were not just freak shows, not like that. But I mean, like
it's human spectacle.
There was somebody you had Elvis. Yeah, well, I got the Rolling Stones next, and well, you know what? I got the American Rolling Stones. I got the Doors. And they would always try to get the absolute best. And then when you hear something like Selena Gomez, you could tell that that's not what they're doing anymore. They're not looking for the best hardly in anything anymore. And when they are, obviously they have to in fields like science and mathematics. They make damn sure you have no idea who these people are unless you watch science documentaries. They're not in the paper. They're not in the news. They are nowhere. Anything that is really depth and it has a lot of merit to it is not pushed at all.
Right.
I don't think that's
worries
a new thing, though.
Greatly. I don't think it's ever been this bad.
Right,
that might be true.
I just have to ask you, Sam, who's more talented, Rihanna or Fat Man who eats a vat of Kraft macaroni and cheese in 11 minutes?
That's talent.
It's
a tough call, Sam. Okay, are you guys aware that Bruce Jenner is transitioning to become a woman?
I heard something about this.
And he's going to have a new show about his transition now. we've talked about fat models, and here's what they look like. And I mean, what's more attractive, this BBW or Bruce Jenner? Transitioning
Oh,
into a
I'll take the
woman.
BBW
The
any day.
BBW, I'll take the BBW, yes.
Looks like
All
he's got
day.
some boobs going. This guy was an Olympian and at one time considered like one of the most masculine, handsome men in America. Now look at him. I mean, he grows his hair long. I mean, it kind of looks like, I don't want to say it looks like you, Kyle, but
I mean, my thing is like,
I mean,
don't think-
Kyle, your hair grows pretty fast, kind of like Bruce Jenner's, unlike mine.
that's true. I should be a runner. But I mean, I could give a fuck about the Kardashians. I could honestly give a fuck about Bruce Jenner.
It's gonna
But
be a new show.
I think it's amazing how like going back to like the fat people thing, that it's like somebody being fat, we're supposed to be proud and applaud them and go, "You go, girl." But somebody who feels uncomfortable in their body and wants to switch genders is on the cover of every magazine
Well,
and
see,
every fucking thing.
I also think that's a bad idea. I think you should be allowed to change your sex if you want to. I do not. I think it should be illegal. But I happen to think that cutting your schmeckle off does not make you a woman. It makes you a mutilated man.
I think he's gonna try to keep the penis and just add a vagina in the taint area or something like that.
I mean, for me, it's like
a vassal.
I listened to a podcast who has a transgender person on it who was born female, identifies and lives as a man, takes testosterone, and you know what? Like, whatever makes you happy. Like, I find it really amazing and kind of repulsive in our society that everybody like makes such a human spectacle again out of Bruce Jenner, a guy who honestly nobody gave a fuck about 5-6 years ago. And like now that he's going through this transition, all of a sudden he's on every fucking magazine, and it's like, if a dude wants to be a girl, like, put like your feelings about it aside. Like, who cares? Yeah, if he wants to be a woman.
Kyle, his changing look has been a much buzzed about topic for months, and now People magazine has confirmed that Bruce Jenner has been quietly making a very personal change. The former Olympian will soon be living life as a female. Bruce is transitioning to a woman, says a source close to the family. He's finally happy, and his family is accepting of what he's doing. He's in such a great space. That's why it's the perfect time to do something like this. And according to a different Jenner insider, the 65-year-old reality star is filming his monumentous journey. It's going to be on TV to be shared with viewers on a docu-series this year. It will air when he is ready to be open about his transition.
How do they know who he is?
But he's acting more and more confident and seems very happy. He was
an Olympic runner in like what, the 70s.
Dad.
He's on the Kardashian show. But here's my thing. Can I sum up my feelings about this in like one sentence?
Sure.
I hope that he is happy as a woman. I wish him the best, or her the best, and I will not be watching that show.
Kyle,
I wish them the best and happiness, but I won't watch that show.
Kyle, you're so accepting. Real quick, if I can, guys. My screen's doing this weird blue thing, but I think we're still broadcasting okay. I found the answer to one of my questions last week. If you guys remember on last week's broadcast when we had Lucian Farrow of Indigo Children Radio on the show, I was talking about people in my neighborhood that scavenge the recyclables from my recycle can out on the street before the state comes and picks it up. And I was wondering whether or not that was legal. Sam said it was a brilliant idea. Kyle, you seem to think that was a pretty good idea for someone to make money by taking the recyclables out of my trash can and taking it to my recycle bin and taking them to the recycling center themselves to profit off my bottles and stuff.
Yeah, as long as they're not harming the neighborhood, or as long as crime rates aren't going up, as long as they're not wearing a plastic bag for a dress, yeah.
Okay, well, some of them, that dude that approached me for cigarettes did have like a shower cap on top of his head, but that was just to protect his afro from the rain, I would assume.
Did you find that in the recycling?
Well, on the recycling bin itself, and Kyle, to answer your question from last week, yes, it does have a lid. I found the answer to my own question on the lid where it is written municipal code. Sam, the municipal code prohibits removal of recyclable materials from this container. Individuals caught illegally scavenging will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
What are you gonna get
But
out of them?
one, what do you?
Like,
What are you going to get out of them? And also, why should they care? I mean, really, why should they care? Anytime.
Doesn't make our neighborhood look good.
No, but if they're taking it, it's something better.
It's called scavenging, Sam.
Yeah, scavenging is better than just sitting back collecting welfare payments. I have a lot more respect for the guys stealing the recycling out of somebody else's trash.
Gotta agree with Sam on this. And D, like, I have an answer for you. If it's making the neighborhood look bad, the best thing I think that you could do is actually take your cans and put them in a separate bag labeled aluminum cans. Put that on top of your recycling, so when they come by, they don't have to dig through your shit. They can just get the bag and go. They're gone quicker.
Mine's mostly bottles, and this week I don't know if it was one of the scavengers or the trash, mechanical arm thing itself, but there was a broken bottle, like, on the street that got left there, whether it was one of the scavengers or what. But come on, that doesn't make
that's not cool. I don't want that. I don't want you breaking bottles in front of my house. Can you trade in bottles by you?
Huh?
Can you trade in bottles for money by you? You can only do cans here. They don't take glass.
Yeah,
we don't get money for glass here. We don't get jack.
This is a 5-cent bottle.
I used to do this.
Yeah.
You get 5 cents for that there? Good Lord. I used to do the
10
scrapping thing, and I mean, you would spend like hours to make absolutely nothing. So like, we're doing
10 cents
nothing.
in Michigan. 10 cents in Michigan. Do you guys remember that Seinfeld episode where they were trying to, like, get to Michigan and, like, they were trying to calculate the gas, and then, like, what's his name was like, oh, I got the mail truck.
Yeah, I actually have some information on why Michigan is worth so much more.
Why?
Michigan, to encourage the people who live there to recycle and be more environmentally conscious, they actually pay a tax. There's an added tax on glass bottles. Huh. So you're actually paying a deposit when you buy like a 12 case of beer, like that 5-cent difference. You're paying that, and you're paying it in a sense as a deposit. And if you want to get that deposit back, you can bring your bottles.
That's an awful idea.
Yeah, you know what? It says MI equals 10-cent deposit, or DEP.
Yeah, it's a deposit, right? That you're paying in the form of a tax, so you can get that back by trading them back in.
Well, that was done by a Democrat. You just know it.
Oh, it says CA redemption value. So in California, the redemption value, I think, fluctuates because it just says, well, it says Connecticut, Hawaii, Iowa, ME, MA. I guess that's Maine and what's ME? MA. Anyways, New York, Oregon, and equals 5
Maryland.
cents.
So I mean, I think most places you're paying, it's more of a deposit system that you're paying. But I mean, there's the breaking of bottles, and I see both sides of it. Like, you don't want like the homeless wandering through your neighborhood, really.
We don't want to have the bottle issue here. That would with D-Leg, I could see that would be annoying if people are breaking.
Yeah, broken bottles, and you're not gonna like call the police over it or anything like that. But like, I see how that would be a little bit annoying. Mm-hmm. Like, I see both sides of it. One side of me says that's annoying, I wouldn't want him walking through my neighborhood, but the other side sees Sam's point, which is like, well, it's better than sitting on your ass collecting fucking welfare. Like,
and the other thing I do is I never buy trash bags. These are all I ever use. Well, I go to the store, where I get your vitamin waters, whatever you get at the local convenience store, and then I put all my trash in the bags that they gave me. So I don't granted, there's times you have to buy trash bags. I get it, but I don't understand why people buy trash bags every time they go to the store.
My mom does that too. That must be an Ohio thing.
I've lived without that because you get bags everywhere you go in Ohio. I've lived without them for years, and every time I look at the great big garbage patch, I'm like, well, I'm not doing so bad. I used the bag twice.
You know what? I've heard garbage men complain that they say, well, it's kind of racist. They say white people tend to like put their trash into like bags, so there's like bags in the can. But they said other races, the Mexicans and blacks, tend to just free for all throw their trash into the bin without containing it. I don't know. It's kind of
mine's a mix. Mine's a mix of both things.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, anyways, I'd be so guilty of that before.
Did you guys hear this story? A fake cop pulls over a real cop. A police impersonator tried to pull over an off-duty officer early Thursday morning, police said. An off-duty police officer says he was driving in Dumfries when a man driving a Crown Victoria started to follow him. He must have just watched that movie, Let's Be Cops. The officer says the driver turned on a spotlight that was attached to his car. Thinking it was a police officer, The off-duty officer pulled over, according to police. The driver of the Crown Victoria pulled alongside the off-duty officer and tried to make contact, police said. When the off-duty officer said he was a police officer, the other driver immediately sped away. The off-duty officer followed the car, and then the driver and passenger fled on foot. Police have identified the man as Sean Michael Robinson, 27, pictured above, of Alexandria, Virginia. He turned himself into police after a warrant was issued for his arrest. He turned himself into police. Robinson is being held without bond. He is due in court on March 4th. Does this guy want to be a cop? Is he a rapist? Is he trying to jack people for money?
Well, it depends. It depends on how far he went with it, because I've honestly, not naming names, but I knew people, especially like in high school and right after high school, who would deck out their Crown Vics and deck out their Impalas to look like cop cars, and they'd get the little siren, which I have a siren in my truck, mainly for mooing at people when they take too long to cross the road. But they'd have like the siren and stuff, and they'd flick on, if somebody was like driving slowly, they'd flick on their siren, the person would see like, an Impala with the cop hubcaps and antennas on the back, and they'd pull over, and it was an easy way to pass people. So it's like he could just be that guy. Like, I do know people who did this, and like he could be that guy, or he could be somebody who fake pulls people over and fucking robs them, or rapes them, or eats their brains. I don't know.
I need the round of applause to be ready for D-Lake. D-Lake, all I've got to say is this. I give out the dumb D of the day. I spend probably a couple $100 a year mailing dunce caps out every month. And you know what? That is an amazing find. And I'm like the king of dumb stories. Fake cop pulls over a real cop. I am humbled, D-Lake. I am humbled.
Well, thank you. How do you feel about this story then? Porn filmed in Oregon State University Library. I thought this is something Kyle would want to talk about. Kyle, did you know that a porno film was made at the Oregon State University Library?
Wait, was it an actual porn or was it a cam whore? There's a difference. Because I've seen cam whores in libraries. If you haven't, you're a liar. I know you have.
What is it?
Okay.
What is it?
Like, like cam whores, like the girls, like they'll go on like the websites where like you go like on camera and like you do stuff and dudes give you tokens, and like girls, I've seen many where they go into libraries, public libraries, school libraries, yeah.
Never heard of it.
Oregon State University's main library just went viral, and not because of its state-of-the-art computer lab. A 19-year-old woman was cited Tuesday evening for allegedly using the university library at the campus in Corvallis, Oregon, as a backdrop to shoot an adult video last year. The woman was cited for public indecency and released, according to Steve Clark, Oregon State Vice President of University Relations. She is not a current student, but attended the school for the 2014 fall term. The former student's name was not released by the school, but an Oregon State police log says they watched the porno and it was really great. No. The log says the performer in the video engaged in a solo act. Kyle, cam whore. You called it.
Yeah, she's a cam whore. This is like, you're going to go over every cam whore that goes in a public place. You're going to have a lot of 19-year-old girls in jail. I don't know if you've ever been to one of these.
That's not worthy of the dumb the other day. Yeah, cam whoring isn't the dumb the other day.
Oh, it is what it is.
It's a service. It was published on the popular adult website Pornhub.com, Kyle.
Okay.
The university does not condone such behavior, Kyle. I don't know if you know that.
I've seen like girls cam whores, videos of cam whores doing shit in libraries. I've seen them doing things at bus terminals. I saw one where a girl did some stuff to herself on a train, which was actually the same train line that we took to Chicago when you guys were in town, because I heard like
I thought that seat was kind of sticky.
Where's my like, and I know because I was watching it and I'm like, all right, this is a pretty good one. I'm in. I'm invested, and I can't help but hear the train stops going off in the background, and it's like the train stops on the West Line, and I'm like, oh shit, we took that train. It happens all the time. It's pretty normal.
Sam, you had an article that you sent me this morning, an open letter to Charles Barkley and Co. Can you get into that one for us?
Yeah, Josh Gordon, and I'm not a Browns fan. I call them the Frowns. I actually can't stand them, but it's for a long, boring reason. And I'm in Ohio, which is why it's odd. I hate them. However, I read about this Josh Gordon, his terrible drug issue. It's a long article. I'm not going to get into all of it. You can scan through it and pull out the parts you like best. but his life is spiraling out of control. He's going down. He's going down. Do you want to hear media hype? You want to hear media damning somebody who I'm about to major stick up for here? And even if you hate football and you hate the Browns, this guy is getting hosed.
Well, tomorrow's the Super Bowl, so let's talk some football news, Sam.
He's a guy from the hood, and he grew up, pulled himself up by his bootstraps, made something out of himself. Mm-hmm. He has been busted for marijuana use.
No.
Then when they suspended him, he was drinking. He blew this illegal as an 8. He blew a 9. Now I got a DUI for a 10. That's nothing either. He blew a 9. .08 is legal. He blew a .09. So they suspended him from drinking after the season was over.
And he's a big football player guy, so I mean a .9 is big, right?
On the flight home, when the season is over, by the way, they lost the only game that they needed to win to get into the playoffs. There was no playoffs. The entire team just was drinking on the way home, kind of like, oh my God, it sucks to be us. He had 4 drinks, and I think, and keep in mind, he's a big guy, so that'd be like 2 drinks for me. Or maybe 3 drinks for me, but he's much bigger than I am. Big guy, moose of a guy. Because he broke the ban that the Browns gave him, I hate that team, they nailed him again, and now it looks like he's got a DUI. He was drinking when he shouldn't have been. He's using drugs. The man hasn't done anything at all.
Okay, Sam, you're saying he blew a .09.
I had 4 drinks last night. That's exactly how many I had. What? I should lose my job.
Let me say really quickly, you can buy, like, I had a breathalyzer keychain that I bought for like $10, and this breathalyzer keychain, it didn't tell you the exact number, but it would tell you if you went over .08, the legal limit, it would go from a green light to a red light. I recommend everybody get one of these things. I need to go find a new one. You blow into it after every drink. You will be amazed at how sober you are when that light finally turns red. Like the limit is insane. The limit is set for 90-pound Asian women because it has to be like over-encompassing for everybody.
No, that's not how they did it. They did it to steal the most money out of the most people because most people aren't driving drunk, and most people would have been if they had a drink. They would have been in that accident even if they hadn't had a drink.
I try and look for like
say that they can't steal money from you that way.
That I would agree with you.
Nothing.
But looking at it in like the nicest way towards the government, looking at it from the government's perspective, the same way like speed limit signs are done, is for like the speed limit is set for the worst driver on the road. The DUI limit is set for like a 60-pound, 90-year-old Asian woman who's never had a drink in her life. Like everything is set for the lowest common denominator, so everybody else gets fucked. Whether that's to make more money or not, which I agree with Sam, it is. That's what's going on. And like a fucking football player? Are you kidding me? That dude could pound a 12 case and be fine.
Exactly, but I mean, so he blew a .09, smoked a little bit of reefer, and now Charles Barkley fears that Josh Gordon will die if he doesn't change his ways, according to...
They said he's going to die. So he left this letter, and he's like...
No, Sam, I am afraid for your health. You said it yourself. You're the chubbiest one on the show. Now, you drink, you get drunk, and you do last call shots, and then you try to drive home, and you smoke with that reefer. Sam, I'm really worried about your health. You might die.
You're going to die. And he released this letter, and I like what he said. He goes, let me tell you something. You don't even know me. Don't tell me I'm going to die. Yeah. He's like, I'm guilty of... And he sticks up for himself. He's like, maybe I got everything I earned, but I want to tell you about my last drink. And he doesn't say it, but it's implied. How many drinks did your ass drink when you were on the plane? Or if, Barkley, your team went all the way, you didn't celebrate that night? That is ridiculous. When I originally heard that he was kicked off, the way it was showing up on Facebook blurbs, I don't usually click on sports news. I was under the impression that it was crack or coke, one of the two big C's.
Yeah, then we can talk about serious problems. And the funny thing is,
when I read what his serious problem was, I almost fucking died.
When you hear about somebody who you'll hear about within your group of friends or whatever, like so and so got so drunk she fucking flashed everybody at the party and she sucked so and so's dick that nobody actually likes and nobody can believe how ridiculous she was at that party. The person who does all that crazy shit is the person who actually doesn't have a problem at all. That's why they don't know how to handle their alcohol. Like the person who does the crazy shit at the party generally does that because they're not used to consuming alcohol. Like.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny, like, I don't care about sports at all, but anybody, you have a
the-
serious problem with marijuana, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Go watch old lady drunken fails or lady drunk fails. What
And I want to say one else. Oh, go ahead.
She's at a wedding. Oh, by the way, I have video of a cat and an owl that are best friends. But before we get to that, this one lady, she was dancing, and she was trying to dance with everybody at the wedding, and then she's totally drunk, she's trying to dance with this old man, and then she fucking goes and grabs the pole to try to do like a pole twirl or something because she's drunk, but the pole is like holding up the tent, so when she fucking grabs it, it like falls down, the whole tent collapses, and the bride has a bloody nose. Oh man, that video is crazy.
Yep, I watch it every night before bed to unwind. Yes, but I want to mention something else real quick before we move on that he did in the article. He talks about growing up poor and how he made something out of himself and he made something out of his body and learned the sport that he loved and used the talent that God gave him. He never once says, because I was black. He says, because I had nothing and I had a single mother. And I have so much respect for this letter. You have to read this letter.
Yeah, but that's code for being black.
No, I was happy because I grew up, for listeners, look up 44703. I grew up in the hood. I still live in that same area. It has absolutely nothing to do with color, and I was so happy that
I was joking.
It's a great letter. Everyone should read it, even if you hate sports. As a matter of fact, if you do hate sports and you're a libertarian, this will be the only article you read about sports all year that you really, really are like, yeah, this guy's getting hosed.
My favorite sport is fat guy eats a vat of Kraft macaroni and cheese. But I have video this week of a cat and an owl that are best friends. Let's take a look at it. Look at that. Kyle, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at my screen, dude. Remember we were talking about animal buddies?
Yeah.
This owl and this black cat, I mean, Bohemian Grove probably loves this, an owl and a black cat that are best friends.
Right.
But watch these two together, how they play and interact. And Kyle, if you could do the voiceover coverage so people can know what we're looking at.
Yeah, so there's this black cat who's adorable and this owl who's adorable. Both predators, kind of makes sense. Just like walking around. Oh, the cat's doing a little, I'm going to rub up against you, get some of this. They're doing a little play fighting. How did this even come to be?
You can't see the video when he talks. It doesn't cut away.
Oh, yeah. D-Light can center it on that for the video feed.
Yeah, I'm on cameraman. I got it.
That's awesome.
Kyle, continue with the coverage. This is like a National Geographic.
So yeah, they're just like running around playing like how you see two cats play, except one of them is a freaking owl. Oh, and then the owl's like, I'm up high, you can't get me.
Yeah, some of the best stuff. Yeah, they're up in a tree.
Oh shit! Now he's up in a tree.
And then like whenever the owl starts flying, the cat does like a run by and tries to like at least touch him, like in midair.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, there you go. He like jumps up at him. He's like, "Get your ass back down here."
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Look,
That's
I mean,
so
this
awesome.
is kind of a long video, but it's worth it. Oh, I think he had a mouse right there. At one point, they get a mouse.
Oh shit! Cats and owls both love mice.
Yeah, see, you're right. They're both. Oh, right there. Yeah, predators, right? Like you said, Kyle.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to get a rabbit for my dog Helena. I've been trying to convince my girlfriend that we should get her like a little rabbit to cuddle with, because that's what she just loves to cuddle. I think a little baby rabbit would be perfect. And then I could make a video like this.
Got a great story about a rabbit. We had this pet rabbit, and it was in a container that used to have fish, and it said Aqua. So Christelle names this poor beast Aqua. Aqua the rabbit, the worst named pet in all of pet history. And we had it in the other room, and she never. I know she didn't go and see it as much as I thought she should, because rabbits are kind of social creatures. But she didn't utterly ignore it. But we left and turned the heat down to like the high 60s because we hadn't had the spiders yet. Turned the heat down to the high 60s and came home, and the rabbit was dead. So we started telling her that she froze the rabbit to death. And she actually believed it, and then she looked it up and realized that rabbits do not freeze to death in the high 60s. But she was like, oh no, I should have had it more.
So it wasn't cold, it was just Sam's incompetence in keeping a rabbit alive. This is a horrible story. I'm kind of offended by it. I'm scared for that dog that just walked past you.
Oh, I'm scared. She bought the dog and now the cat won't come out. How did we end up, the media speaks end up like the animals, the craziest stories this week? I feel like I'm on strangest stories. But anyway, yeah, I have my dog made my cat of 10 years not come out from behind the stove because she bought a dog.
Sam, it is crazy, crazy story week. I mean, what's today's lead story? A fat man that eats a vat of macaroni and cheese. I do have. Gotta see this.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right.
I saw that.
An Australian possum. I don't know if you guys know, but they have like fur on their tails. They look different than American possums. This possum broke into a bakery, and like you can see the hole there in the box where he like broke in, and he ate so many pastries that they came in the morning and found him just sitting there. He couldn't move. He was so full. Look, he's like covering his belly. He's like, oh man, I shouldn't have ate all those pastries.
Fucking drunk on pastries.
Fucking Australian possum.
That's awesome. This is becoming an animal-centric show. Since we're talking so much about animals, I bought some new fish.
Cool.
for my aquaponic setup. I went and I bought 6 new fish yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I bought these tiny little ones that are like literally like the size of like, I don't even know what. They're like half an inch. These just tiny little ones. They stay by the top and they stay in like a school. Like they all stick together. Then I bought this. It's called I remember it. A sheboygan. A sheboygan fish is what it was called, I believe. And it's kind of like a koi fish. With a giant 55-gallon fish tank.
Sheboygan.
It's pretty dope, not gonna lie. And I got food growing on top for the apocalypse, so I don't die. I see D-Lake, you have a cat behind you right there.
Yeah, that's right, I do. That's Dory. You guys want to hear something really fucked up about Dory?
Yeah.
Probably back, stop the script on Breitbart.com, Jesus. Probably back around, like, before Halloween, she got bit by something or caught her tail in something, and she had a really bad wound on her tail. And it was really fucked up. I don't know what happened to her. I tried to treat it a little bit, but she kept messing with everything I put on there. And, like, the hair stopped growing on about 2.5 to 3 inches on the end of her tail. And just like 2 weeks ago, that two or so inches of her tail that like her tail is like really furry, but then her fucking part of her tail fell off.
That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds like what.
Now she's got a stub tail.
I've never heard of that. I was going to say, I thought it was going the opposite direction. My cat got some infection.
It's not going to grow back like a lizard's, but
no, but it's odd that the opposite happened to my cat. Got this weird infection from a flea bite, and it got like this pink thing. Almost, I thought it was cancer, but it wasn't, on its leg and its tail.
That sounds more like a spider bite.
At some point, you could almost see through its tail. I took it in. I gave it some antibiotics, and $75 later, its tail is fine.
You guys are freaking me out because can we get Helena Cam really quick? Do you like?
Yep, I'm on Helena Cam.
Helena, I know you can hear me.
There
hey,
she
Helena.
Is. Oh, it's there. Where's your rabbit? You need a rabbit.
I know. I need a rabbit for her. She's so tiny.
That was so cute. That's worth 1 million clicks right there. We got 1 million clicks. Yes.
She's so confused. She's like, fuck you guys, I'm going back to
She's like,
sleep. But
forget
I
it.
worry about Helena because Allison Rosen, on her podcast, Allison Rosen is your new best friend, she was talking about, she had an issue. She had a dog that was like the same size as Helena, like 3.5-pound tiny little dog. And she was taking her dog on a walk, and somebody who had their dog off leash, their dog just like went up and attacked her dog. And they took it to the vet, and the vet thought the dog was going to be fine, but then it had like liver failure and like died within like 2 days because it was so small. It just totally fucked it up. And here's the most fucked up part. When this all happened, her mom was taking care of her dog. She was on vacation for her honeymoon in Hawaii. And it's like you come back early from your honeymoon because your dog died. And I freak out because Helena's like the same size. And apparently, like, dogs will instinctually go after like the weakest dog in the pack, like wolf style, you know?
Yeah.
Eliminate the weakest link. So that freaks me the fuck out. But I wanted to say your story about the cattails reminded me of something. I listened to Smodcast, Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier's podcast. And Kevin Smith, he told this story. Everybody needs to go listen to it on his most recent episode. He was at Sundance in Utah because he goes to Sundance most years. And he was on the bus on the way to the festival, and he's talking to the bus driver. And the bus driver told him the craziest story ever. This dude, I'll try and give you the short version of it. This guy had dick cancer, right? He had cancer of the dick. And the way that they treat it is there's like a special lotion that you put on your dick. And like for whatever reason, like the lotion was like having like, I think he said it was like making him itchy or something. So the doctor's like, not a problem. Put on this lotion after you put on the first lotion. So the guy is in the shower. He's putting on his lotion. Like if you're putting lotion on your dick, like might as well have some fun. You know what I mean? So the guy's in the shower and he's rubbing his dick with this cancer lotion. And he looks down and there's like skin in his hand. And like,
oh my
like
God.
like, yeah. And like how like a snake sheds its skin, this lotion had an effect, like the two had like a synergistic effect and made like the skin on his dick come off.
No!
Here's the thing.
Oh, free plastic surgery for him, I would hope.
Oh
There's
my
an
God.
upside to this story.
Oh my God.
Because all the guy's like, I guess like in his 40s, and he said like because of this, like the skin grew back on his dick, but the fact that like he got rid of the old skin and like it regenerated new skin, he says he's got like the dick of a 15-year-old. He's got like the youngest looking dick in the world.
It's all shiny like C-3PO's boner.
Yeah, like C-3PO's boner. It's like a brand new dick. So it's like he said it was painful and like scary as fuck, but now it's like he got regenerative dick surgery.
That's
Got
awesome.
brand new dick. Are you looking up that C-3PO? I know you are.
My dick doesn't look that much different than it did at 15. Well, again, I had cancer, so never mind.
How long did it take before he had a 15-year-old dick and didn't have dick cancer anymore? I mean, how does that... Oh, man.
It's a great question.
Was it skin cancer and he peeled it right off?
It was like a type of skin cancer that specifically affects the dick. The way Kevin Smith put it, he couldn't remember the name, but he's like, this is a common enough thing that there is a name for it, and it is specifically dick cancer.
Hell.
Scariest thing in the world. Scariest thing in the world. That's why, you know, they say, while D-Lake is looking that up, which I assume that he is did you know that masturbating 3 times a week, and this sounds like I'm just being like immature, but this is like real science. Masturbating 3 times a week drastically reduces your risk of prostate cancer.
Even if you have sex, yes. Even if you have sex.
Yeah, like, so when like Catholics are killing kids, Catholics are giving kids prostate cancer.
All right, I gotta do it, guys. I actually did find like a real news story, and I probably should have said it, so we maybe hadn't everybody like zoned out, but we'll make it its own segment. This was some serious BS, and before we completely go into you mentioned terrifying things, I didn't want to go back into silliness. This is not making any sense to me. USA Today. Malaysia declares Flight 370 disappearance an accident. Now, for those of you that don't remember or don't know, there were 2 planes within about 6 months to a year of each other that disappeared. Look up China prediction missing airline. You will find that there was a man all over Weibo, which is the Chinese equivalent of Twitter, warning that these Asian planes were going to go down, how they were going to go down, and the media spun it as the man is a missing psychic. The media, if you read his emails, and I'm the only one reporting on this ever, it's not looking like he's trying to be Miss Cleo. He's leaking. He's telling you that they're doing this. He's not a psychic. It's the way they're spinning this. Well, now, conveniently enough, they're calling it an accident. They're saying that it's sitting at the bottom of the ocean somewhere. Now, this is a ridiculous notion because planes break apart when they hit the water, particularly very large planes. They leave oil slicks that can be seen from space. They leave debris. That debris washes up on small islands that are owned by either countries, military groups, or private investors. They find them all the time. No oil slick, no broken up plane. Yes, there's planes on the bottom of the ocean. I'm not saying there isn't. But they are all busted up. They do not just land and leave no oil slick when they are an airliner.
Right.
Yeah, airliners like 747s and stuff are surprisingly not, like, I'm not going to say they're not strong, but it's essentially like an aluminum can in the air.
Yeah, but it landed, Kyle, and with all that force, just went right into the water, and it's an accident. An accident that was predicted by a psychic. It may have been the other one, but it's a psychic, Kyle. It's amazing that not only was a psychic involved, but the airplane that doesn't break up. Guys, is this nuts to anybody but me?
Well, Sam, I mean, didn't you learn anything from 9/11? When planes impact, they just completely disintegrate, and those fucking 10-ton, giant jet things just disappear and vanish. I mean, like, Sam, I don't know if I can worry about Malaysian planes when I have the original Star Wars card of C-3PO where it looks like he has a huge robot boner. Okay?
That has to be Photoshop. But I'm dead serious.
No, Kyle found it. This is from the original card set. There was Kyle.
When I was young, I had that card. I don't know what happened to it, but I had this card.
What was it supposed to be?
It was a piece of, like, the cod piece of the costume came loose during shooting for this picture. That's what's been said about it.
This part was like those little side discs, and it like came off. So
because of the
foreground
angle.
plus this equals giant robot. The funny thing is, Kyle talked about this on a previous show in the entertainment when we were talking about Star Wars. And remember when they released the new names in this old-fashioned card format, and we talked about it. And Kyle actually found it just this past week, and I mean, I don't know. You're right, Sam. It's not as important as Malaysia declares Flight 370 disappearance and accident.
But I'm just floored here that somehow nobody is the least bit up in arms in this at all. There's not a million people saying, "Wait a minute. That's impossible." Do you know what the people that are in charge of finding it say in the article? Well, we know it's down there somewhere. We just know it is. Based on
they haven't
what?
provided really any evidence to this, which, like, I feel like you should still leave it undeclared. To say just, like, accident or whatever, like, you need some sort of proof of that. Like, you can't just jump to, like, it was hijacked, it was stolen, anything like that without evidence either. But, like, leave it undeclared until you have some information.
It's called the official story. Hey, did you guys know that support waning, Romney decides against a 2016 bid? I mean, January 9th, the beginning of the month, he was saying he was interested. Then last week we reported that him and Jeb Bush were having meetings. And now this week he decides against it.
They're not going to give it to somebody that already had it.
Well, the headline was that it was the Bushlandia, the Bush world, that essentially forced him out. How do you guys feel about that?
I think that if he had any balls, if he really was serious and he really believed his ideas work, he would get angry that this happened, and he would then become a third-party candidate.
I think it's hard for somebody who's already run to get back into the race in most cases. Like, look at all the shit. Because when you run, like the theory was that when John McCain picked Sarah Palin for VP, that the reason he did that, there were two reasons. One, to try and get the woman vote, since obviously, like, black candidate, that's going to pull in a lot of people from who are tired. People are tired of seeing a white male in office. That's just a fact. So when you're going up against a black man, it's very hard for you as an old white dude to get any support. So get the women on board, get a woman, and when you're running a presidential campaign, like let's say like John McCain versus Obama, the Obama team and the Obama campaign people, they literally have files filled with information ready on anybody they think there's any possibility of him picking. So the second that he says his VP pick, they can put that information out. They did this. You won't like this. They said this stupid thing. And the theory is that he picked Sarah Palin because she was such a fucking outsider that nobody had a folder ready on her. Does that make sense? So Mitt Romney running again, that folder is not only already there, it's already open and investigated. Like, that folder is twice as thick as any other folder. It's already ready to go from the last time you ran. So if you've already gotten that far down the line, the information is already there for them to go after you.
The reason that Jeb Bush is a really...
Hillary's already declared the front runner. You guys realize that? I mean, how big is her freaking folder? Is my question.
Well,
her folder's big, but it's tough because Clinton people are hard pressed not to look at it. They will just totally ignore it.
But the problem with Jeb Bush is that, from the Republican point of view, there is no way that you will get the Democrats who don't like Hillary to vote for the Republican, which could happen in a lot of cases because she's pretty polarizing. The one person you won't get that with is Jeb Bush, the man who put Al Gore out of office. You're not going to get that swing Democrat vote with Jeb Bush. You're going to guarantee that you do not get the Democratic vote, even the ones that hate Hillary, if you pick Bush. It is the worst time ever to pick Jeb Bush. I'm not going to vote for him no matter what. But if you're running against Hillary, this is the year and maybe her reelection, not Jeb. No, that's
forget the Democrats, moderates, independents, people who are in the middle who don't pay that much attention to politics, which is the vast majority of Americans. They will never fucking vote for another Bush, never in a million years.
Never.
So
I would personally sooner vote for a fat man who eats Vat of Kraft macaroni and cheese. Again, that's today's headline.
Yeah. The governor of New Jersey?
We talked all about that guy. He's a fat guy. Yeah. I have video of Chris Christie falling down.
It's kind of funny.
In today's bizarre news show, but just imagine Chris Christie trying to sit down in his seat. The seat kind of like flies back behind him. He falls down. It's hilarious. Everyone go check that out on the internet.
Yeah, it was kind of okay. I mean, it was.
Sam,
but yeah,
Sam, don't you have some? What, Kyle?
It's sort of entertaining, but like just my last thoughts on the presidential election. I know I've said it before, but the Republican Party is putting up a ton of shitty candidates except for Ted Cruz. The Democrats are putting up Hillary Clinton, which they know will be defeated, and my theory is that they're doing all this to get Ted Cruz in office because the Tea Partiers and some libertarians think that he represents them. They'll be able to get him into office, and then it'll be the same old shit because he's bought and paid for.
Yeah, I saw a picture of Ted Cruz meeting with Henry Kissinger, and Kissinger was sucking the soul out of Mr. Cruz. Sam, did you have any last final thoughts on 2016 prospective candidates before we segue into your science news?
I would say that I think we need to do our best to push Justin Amish to run. He's out of all the people that are Republican, he's the only one of which I will go skipping to the polls to vote for. Look up Justin Amish and try to get him to run.
All right. Well, let me ask this before.
Resurgence of Gary Johnson in 2016.
I like Gary Johnson, but I liked Gray better.
So did I. I would much rather see Jim Gray. He was great. The work that he's done with the public education system in California, his work as a judge, he has a really, really good track record. He's a really good speaker, really smart guy. He actually has a proven track record in the field of doing good for the country within the government. I think he's the perfect libertarian candidate. I don't know if they'll get him to run, but I would vote for that motherfucker. I'd vote for him, and then I'd go to my winter home in Florida, and I would vote for him again.
Oh, that sounds great. Kyle, do you have a theme song ready for Sam Science News?
Well, really, really quickly, I just wanted to ask one question and then go to Science News. And, everybody, try and keep it under 30 seconds. But if you were supreme dictator of the universe and you had Superman powers, or, what's the guy's name from The Watchmen, where you're just like omnipresent, you can do whatever you want, and you could force. Yeah, yeah. If you could force the world to be like, this man is the president now, and this is the head of the UN as well, this is your supreme leader, who would you pick as that dictatorial, omnipresent, godlike force?
Sam?
Sam?
I'm thinking of the candidates we have
I
now.
was going to say Batman, or maybe Tony Stark, Iron Man.
I thought we had to pick somebody that was real.
Real person. They got to be real. They can't be dead. They have to be somebody
I know who I'm going to pick. He's got nothing to gain.
Obama.
He's got nothing to gain by changing. He's too old. Ron Paul.
That's true. But he could die. Wait, but you're omnipresent. You're a godlike creature, so you could make Ron Paul 30 years old again physically so that he can continue to live forever. I vote Ron Paul too. Congratulations, Sam.
Wait. This supreme leader has omnipresent power?
Yeah, you're like Mr.
Well, then I choose
what was the
myself.
guy's name from the...
Then I choose me.
You can't choose yourself. There's a rule in the universe. I don't know why. You got a genie. You're like, he's like, you get one wish. You're like, huh?
Then I choose you.
Fuck, I don't want to be president.
You already got the Superman shirt on, dude. Come on.
That's true. Fine. All right, Calco.
You are correct, sir. All right, let's stop goofing around and get to science news. Come on, I heard this is supposed to be a good one.
It's time to learn some science. So hit Sam with the science front.
Greetings, unsettled souls. Welcome to News from the Science Front, abcnews.go.com. NASA's Dawn closes in on dwarf planet Ceres. Now, this is interesting news because I've been doing stuff on Earth lately, and I said we were going back into the vastness of space, and we are. NASA's Dawn spacecraft is closing in on a dwarf planet, Ceres, and the space agency today released new photos showing what the gigantic cosmic mass looks like up close. Ceres, the largest body in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, has an average diameter of 590 miles. The images released today are relatively grainy compared to the power of the Hubble Space Telescope. However, they will be used to help guide Dawn closer to the dwarf planet.
Whoa. Is that insensitive? Is that not politically correct to call the planet a dwarf?
Well, it's rather insensitive to Pluto because, I mean, Pluto's much bigger and it's a dwarf planet, too.
Yeah, I mean,
how dare you? The photos, which were taken on January the 13th but released today, show Dawn's view of Ceres from a distance of 238,000 miles, according to NASA. The space agency said that the images will continue to get better as Dawn gets closer to Ceres, with the eventual goal of placing the satellite into orbit on March 6th. It will be the first time that the spacecraft has visited a dwarf planet. It's expected to continue for 16 months as researchers analyze data about Ceres, which is thought to be icy and may contain an ocean.
Sam, I have the planet footage on my screen. It appears to be an animated GIF. What is this really bright spot that you see traveling across there? Could that potentially be an ocean, or I mean?
They said
dark light hues.
Well, it could be. It could be an ocean, and it says the current images already show what appear to be craters, something they're eager to get a closer look at. So it's hard to say. If that's a crater, it's a massive one. I'm excited about this. Interesting story, funny story about it, since we're doing such an odd series of stories today. My friend Sam Shaw, you can look him up on Facebook, telling you heard about this. We got really, really intoxicated one night, and we saw this huge thing in the sky, and we realized that it was V Canis Majoris. For those of you that don't know, it is the single biggest thing that God, or whatever you want to call it, has ever created. There's never been anything bigger, because if they had, we would have known of its residue. It is the biggest thing ever. It would stretch from the sun to Jupiter. If you were to get in a race car and drive around it, as fast as our cars go today, you would reach the other side without stops for fuel in just over 1,026 years. We saw this huge thing and realized what it was, and my girlfriend at the time went home and looked it up, and she was accidentally calling it Sirius, which was the first star we thought it was, and it wasn't. It was VY. She looks it up as Cirrus and tries to tell us that because she wasn't intoxicated, that we were looking at this little tiny asteroid that was between Mars and Jupiter, and we're looking at like the biggest thing that God has ever created, and she was the one laughing at us. So now, all these years later, it's really funny to find out that Ceres has an ocean. It may have some kind of life. It's the first dwarf planet we've ever landed on. It was always like this little anecdotal story in the back of my head, and now Ceres is like the biggest thing happening in science. It's really funny. What do you guys think? Is there going to be life on it? We know that oceans, life as we know it, tends to flourish in oceans, which is why we get excited about finding those.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, we talk a lot about NASA on this show, and like it seems like they're always trying to get funding, but then again, it seems like they're always finding cool stuff. I mean, like, isn't it hard for us to budget like where we should be going and what we should be doing next, Kyle?
I think NASA has figured out recently, because if you remember back not 5-6 years ago, NASA didn't have something to tell us every week or so. Like, I think NASA is just figuring out that if they do their marketing well,
they just got on Twitter.
Exactly.
Well,
like,
that and Obama had
defunded
them so badly, and then now they're popular again.
Well, they're desperate. They're desperate, and in that way, like D-Lake's joke is kind of true. They just got on Twitter, you know, like they just figured out social media, being in the news, having people pay attention to you, having a fucking BuzzFeed article is important. And the more you do that, the more people pay attention to you, and the more they kind of look at their politicians to refund them. And that works. I mean, look at the Coney 2012 thing, which was total bullshit, but that's beside the point. People cared about it, and so the government was forced to make a response to it. So I think NASA's doing the right thing.
So Kyle's for space propaganda, NASA propaganda.
Absolutely. If whatever, there's such thing as good propaganda, and if NASA can use propaganda to get themselves funding again, hell yeah. And not just NASA. I'm a huge fucking fan of Elon Musk and the Falcon 9 rocket. Like, anybody who's trying to go into space, I support.
Yeah, as long as you're clearing it with air traffic control, I don't think there should be any limits on it at all. And as long as you're not using nuclear, as long as you're not doing one of those two things over your neighbor's houses, you should be allowed to try to get yourself space.
Yeah, reasonable levels. If you want to build a car, you can build I want to build a boat, right? And if you want to build a boat, boats need to have titles, right, to go on any lake in the country. And so if you build a boat, you have an inspector come out, they look at your boat, make sure that it's not going to fall apart and hurt other people's shit on whatever lake you want to put it on, and they give you a title. In the same way, I think if you want to build a fucking spaceship, have some expert come out, look at it, go, all right, this thing seems reasonably viable, doesn't look like it's going to hurt anybody, yeah, go for it. And that should go for anybody. That should go for fucking college students, whoever wants to do it. Send shit into space.
I agree.
I've been thinking about sending a balloon up.
So did that guy, did he make it to space, Kyle? I heard him, he was trying to, and then never heard if he made it. It was supposed to be like May, like a year or two ago, wasn't it?
Who?
The rocket guy you're talking. Did he ever make it?
Elon Musk? Elon Musk has successfully docked and what's it called? Like, resupplied the International Space Station.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not who I mean. And who's the guy that was trying to build the
the Virgin Galactic. What's his
Virgin
name?
Galactic.
He was supposed to go like a year ago.
We reported a few weeks ago about an accident that they had that killed one of the pilots.
Yeah, one of them exploded.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
yeah,
but you know what? And we shouldn't look at that. I mean, that's horrible for that guy and for his family.
Oh, yeah, but how did it happen? You know what I mean?
It's gonna happen, and it's sad. But that guy's a fucking hero. That pilot is a hero. We should remember him. And I'm pretty sure that what's his name? The guy, I can't think of his name, but that he, I'm pretty sure that he gave the family.
Do you know what?
Yeah, Richard Branson. He gave him like $1 million.
Kyle, you want good propaganda. Yeah. I've got a mission for you, Kyle. I never do this to you on air. You have got to get what I'm about to say onto NASA's Twitter, and you've got to get people to spread it around. You want good propaganda? You name this little Ceres probe. You put a little tiny emblem on it with the name of the independent pilot that died when he tried to go up. If you're NASA, you put a little tiny plaque that isn't going to weigh enough, or you carve it in the ship somewhere, his name, and you land it on Ceres, there is beautiful good vibes. NASA thumbs upping at the competition. Sorry you died up there, buddy. Bam!
It's like, that's like when a football team wears like black ribbons for one of their fallen. Elon Musk. Elon Reeve Musk is a South African-born Canadian-American. What?
What?
Yeah. He's like South African. Yeah.
He's an entrepreneur.
Go ahead, I've read this already.
Yeah, Elon Musk is a South African-born Canadian-American entrepreneur, engineer, inventor, and investor. He is an investor. Nice writing style. He is the CEO and CTO of SpaceX, CEO and Chief Product Architect.
43 years old. Good Lord.
Tesla Motors and Chairman of Solar City. I mean, this guy is like.
I know about Tesla
doing everything
Motors.
right.
I knew about the space station. I didn't know the person's name.
I was having a conversation with Tim. You guys know Tim. He's done some Twitter work for us. He's been on the show before, and we were talking about it, and he said, he put it in an elegant way. He said Elon Musk breaks capitalism, because like there's an episode of The Simpsons that he was on recently, and in the episode of The Simpsons he goes to work with Homer. He's looking at the nuclear power plant, and he talks to Mr. Burns. He's like, if you did this and this and this, you could like raise your output like tenfold and like not have to have half of your staff. And like essentially like that's the kind of shit that Elon Musk does, is he breaks capitalism. He makes shit work, and he makes it like so much easier in his brilliant way. Like everything he does. Like, is there anybody out there who thinks that going into space, electric cars, and solar farms are a bad thing? Like, he's a fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there you go. He was the co-founder of PayPal. That's where he made his big bucks from.
But what's amazing to me is, how do you get the money to launch PayPal? Like, there's so many good ideas people have, and it's good to see that at least one person out there gets a chance to do it when he's still young enough.
You asked the wrong question. You asked the wrong question. The question is, how do you get the money to start Tesla Motors and SpaceX? And the answer is create PayPal, because creating PayPal costs nothing. It costs nothing but innovation and genius and hard work. All he did was, he was nobody before that.
You could have done it, but how would you market to get anybody to watch it? It's like, you can write a great book. I've done it. And guess what? There's nobody to ever find it. How does he get everyone? I'm going to accept this guy's PayPal thing.
It's what Microsoft. Bill Gates said it best. Create something and then make the public need it. That was like his mission statement when he started making Windows with Microsoft, is make people need you.
Well,
and that's what he did.
Somebody had to have. There had to have been money somewhere to promote that, but it certainly was
not necessarily. Look at Steve Jobs. Look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs started in his fucking buddy's garage building shitty computers that were in wood casing.
He would be an exception, because nothing like that existed prior. What I'm saying is, there are a lot of other people.
Sure, there was. Xerox had a computer that had a graphic interface.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
Yeah, but you used to have to load so many disks into that nobody.
Sure you did, and that's the thing, is they find something that people need. Elon Musk said people need a way to pay securely online, and there isn't one yet. I'm going to create one. Steve Jobs said people need a simple computer at home, and he made one.
Sam, Kyle, let me put you guys on pause here.
Uh-oh.
It's Economics 101. It's called the Law of Supply and Demand. Anyways, this is very entertaining, but we haven't officially segued into entertainment news. I mean, I know Elon Musk is very entertaining, but have you guys seen anything cool and awesome recently in entertainment?
I watched the new, it's not new, but a few months old, the Spider-Man 2.
And how did you like it?
I thought it was good. I thought it held very well to the comic books. I think it was a Marvel movie made for the comic book fans more than it was made for the general public. Very
Oh, did you
entertaining.
see the Fantastic Four trailer that uses your piano?
No.
Okay.
From Waterworld?
I'm gonna set up to play the Fantastic Four trailer in my entertainment section. Sam, have you seen anything awesome and new in entertainment this week?
Not new, but awesome in a rather disturbing way. I'm a documentary fan, and I'd found a life story of a serial killer named Corey Stainer, who was a obviously less than nice person. At the end of it, it mentions that they were rather surprised that Corey Stainer had done this, considering it put such a tragic end to his life. And it mentions it real quick. He was the brother of a little boy that was abducted at 7. The family was looking for the little boy. His name was Steven Stainer. This guy was molesting him and making him be like his own little boy. He told him his parents had died. Got him into drugs and alcohol. He slept with his first woman at 9, his first man at 7. They found him at 14, brought him home.
What?
At 6, they found the guy and everything, Steven Stainer. Then at 16, his life fell apart. He flunked out of school. He moved out, got a girl pregnant, died in a truck accident at the age of 24, and sometime during all of this, his brother Corey Stainer was out as a serial killer. You have to watch 2 different documentaries to get the story because nobody's ever made the documentary that needs to be made. And if I had money, Kyle and I would so make it. The family is like this family. Talk about traumatized. Good word.
I know who you're talking about. There was a movie,
It's
old
a
movie.
Lifetime movie, yeah.
Yeah, a Lifetime movie, 1989. I know my first name is Steven. I totally saw that movie when I was
it's good, but it leaves off everything about Corey.
Yeah,
Like
it didn't mention a brother really at all.
This
It ends
whole family story where he's in there at the very end. This family story is, I mean, you want to talk about a cursed family? Good Lord.
Yeah, if I remember the movie correctly, again, I haven't seen it since I was 10. But if I remember correctly, the movie is all about him, and at the end, it ends with him finding his real family and like showing up at their door and being like, "I think you're my family," and it's like that's the end of the movie.
No. It goes on from there quite a bit. He goes to court and the whole case, and it talks about his whole life falling apart because he was raised so badly. Then he puts it together and dies in a truck accident. I mean, it's the most insane story. Ever. I was just shocked, completely shocked by it. And everybody knows that watches, I don't normally do spoilers, but everyone has already heard this story but me. They just don't realize that Corey Stainer is Stevie Stainer's brother. And could you imagine being, because they got 3 girls that are perfectly okay. They're not crazy. They're not serious. Makes you wonder how those mother and father, their heart must just be like dead.
Yeah, like I hate to like make like joke about this, but like you meet that family, it's like, oh my God, I heard about your son, and you finally got him back, and how is everything else going? It's like, well, our other son's a serial killer too, so like that's horrible. I can't imagine being that parent. I'm not even saying that in a funny way. Like I can't imagine being that parent. How horrible
Absolute
whether
nightmare.
it was your fault. You would feel like a failure, and I'm not saying those parents are failures in any way, but
I know what you mean.
I would feel like a failure as a parent. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. That's fucked. All right, I need brighter news. Play this fucking Fantastic Four trailer before I kill myself because of Sam. Pause. They stole my music, D-Lake. I can tell already they stole my music.
That piano, that 2-note piano intro. Ding, ding, ding,
Let me hear it again.
ding, ding, ding. Okay, let it play.
How did we get this far?
Kyle, as soon as I watched this, I was like,
It is Kyle's song. It's Kyle's song.
How did we get this far? have an immeasurable desire to discover, to invent, to build. Our future depends on us furthering these ideals.
Okay, it's going to tie in government and their desire to get this.
So far, I feel like they took my trailer and they turned it into a Fantastic Four trailer.
Kyle, I'm challenging you on air to call them out on this and try to sue them. They stole your song that badly. They stole your song, Kyle. They stole your song.
It's the same overdubbed monologue in the same tone of voice. It's almost the exact same two-note piano.
They stole your song. Kyle, are you going to do so? Are you going to try to get money from this? I'm dead serious. I'm not kidding.
Well, I don't believe in copyright law, so I can't. I couldn't do that as a libertarian.
Gotcha.
But it does seem like they ripped off my shit. Am I?
A responsibility.
They rip you off.
There's even a person sitting staring at a computer.
Oh, God. Well,
you're stretching there, Kyle. You're stretching.
Hey, Kyle, a black guy. You didn't have that in your film. Here we go.
I didn't. I didn't have a black guy.
But with every new discovery, there is risk. There is sacrifice.
Oh, shit. Did you see that right there?
Yeah, wait, so is this a reboot?
Yeah, it's a reboot.
That makes sense, though, because what's his name, Flame On is fucking Captain America now.
Yeah, and now it's a black guy.
I haven't seen any of these, not even the first ones. I'm so far behind on that.
Okay, that appeared to be the Thing cracking out of like a rock encasing because he's like all rock. Here we go. Invisible Woman.
And there are consequences.
Flame on, bitch! What? It looked like some Mr. Fantastic stretchy powers might have been happening right there.
Why are we making movies that we just made? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Thanks for asking what we're all asking, Sam.
Oh, money shot. Money shot. Look at that.
The answers.
Oh, the whole team in the negative zone or something like that. There's Thing, there's Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman that comprised the Fantastic Four. It looked like there was more than just them entering that experimental scientific chamber thing. Apparently that's probably where Dr. Doom also gets his powers. So there's like a sixth person. Maybe they die. I mean, this trailer's giving us something. There appears to be an airplane in this lightning bolt weird thing that's happening. We saw a plane flying earlier in the trailer. Who's doing the voiceover? Is that this black gentleman that's Johnny Storm's dad? Oh, the Thing? Fucking, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Watch this. Flame on.
Consequences.
All right, man.
They're being very elusive.
Yeah, but Sam says he hasn't seen the other trailers. Excuse me, and or the previous Fantastic Four
movies. It seems like they just made it. Like what
didn't look as good. Or they
literally did.
As this looks.
I have to disagree. I have to say that the original ones were comic book movies, where this looks like they're going to try and turn it into like a realistic, like this could actually happen.
Yeah,
let's be real.
The Fantastic
Four couldn't fucking happen. So like you just got to go comic book with it.
I don't know. I like when they make it real. I like the first two Batman for that.
I like when they do sometimes, but I think Fantastic Four is too ridiculous of a comic book storyline. I don't think you can do it. I think it'll come off as dumb. But we'll see. I'll look at it with an open mind.
Sure. The original movies, yeah, you're right. The guy that plays Captain America, Chris Evans. In 1994, they had this version that was actually shelved by Marvel to like not come out because it was so lame and ridiculous.
I would like to see that.
Then Tim
I think
Story.
that's the perfect way to make a Fantastic Four, like 70s, like low budget, not too many effects.
Now, the Jessica Alba Fantastic Fours, including the original Fantastic Four and then Rise of the Silver Surfer, the guy from the Blue Shield is the Thing, Captain America was Human Torch, this guy was, and I thought he was a good actor. I thought he played Mr. Fantastic
for sure.
You know what's great about, for those of you that watch movies like I do, I'm just going to throw this out there. Came up on my feed. For those of you that want to see the Fantastic Four as soon as it comes out, Pirate Bay, file sharing site returns from nearly 2-month outage.
Okay, Sam.
I am so going to promote. I am so going to liberty promote Pirate Bay.
If you want to watch, if you want to watch American Sniper, I support doing what Sam just said.
Okay, American Sniper, Kyle. We are in the entertainment section. American Sniper again this week, still #1 at the box office. And what are your thoughts and opinions?
It's not a good movie. Like, take away the fact that it's a propaganda film. Take away anything about Chris Kyle lying about a ton of stuff in the book. Take away the Jesse Ventura trial. Like, it wasn't a good movie. Like, I can be open-minded, like, the same way with comedy. Like, we've talked about Jim Jeffries. Jim Jeffries' last special on Netflix, he did a solid 20 minutes on why gun control makes sense and why we should have gun control. Now, I 150% disagree with Jim Jeffries on that, but I can see that he is a comedian. He is not somebody making public policy. He's a fucking comedian from Australia, which has a historic past with gun control, and the way that he did it was funny. Now, I can disagree with him and watch that 20 minutes and still think it's funny because he did it in a funny way and he's a comedian. In the same way, I could watch American Sniper and be like, this is a propaganda film and Chris Kyle's a liar, but this is still a good movie. But it really wasn't a good movie. Like, it just wasn't. It was really badly made. It was super cheesy.
Are you saying that it too, deep down inside, is a Lifetime movie? Deep down at its core.
It really was. Well, it was like the opposite. It was like a Spike TV movie. It was like a Lifetime. It was like a Lifetime movie for men. Like if there was a Lifetime channel, it really wasn't good. Like I have seen better movies on Lifetime for women. Fucking what was the movie about Drew Peterson? I thought that was hilarious.
Are you allowed to say that?
I think so. Why wouldn't I be able to say that? Fucking, do you see the Drew Peterson movie? As somebody from like the Chicago suburbs, like the Drew Peterson thing was a huge deal. Everybody was paying attention to it. That movie was awesome. But American Sniper really wasn't a good movie. It was like really, really cheesy. It was probably the cheesiest movie I've seen. No, it was the cheesiest movie that I've seen since what was the one with the blue people and they fuck dragons with their tails? Avatar. It was the cheesiest movie since Avatar.
I want to see Avatar. I haven't yet.
If you didn't see it in IMAX 3D, don't bother. Oh, Helena has a friend. Hey, Helena. But yeah, like, it wasn't a good movie. Like, take all my personal feelings aside. It was not a good movie. It was like a Lifetime quality movie. Have you guys seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it, but I heard Bradley Cooper was good in the role. I mean,
I didn't think that he was. I felt like it was Bradley Cooper doing an impression. You know what I mean? Like,
essentially, that's what acting is, Kyle. I mean,
yes, but good acting is where you do an impression, but you really pull off the person. Like, again, the Drew Peterson movie. What's the guy's name? Fucking, he was in Wayne's World, Parks and Recreation. The actor who played Drew Peterson. What's his name?
Michael Myers.
No. He was in fucking St. Elmo's Fire. He's been in a ton of shit.
Rob Lowe?
Rob Lowe played Drew Peterson, who's a character who is like older than him, like fatter than him. Like look up Rob Lowe Drew Peterson. He fucking pulled it off. I did not feel like I was watching Rob Lowe. I felt like I was watching Drew Peterson. In this movie, I felt like I was watching Bradley Cooper do an imitation of fucking Chris Kyle. Which I don't dislike him at all. Like, I think he's a good actor. I've liked movies.
He's gonna dislike you.
This movie, fucking, can we watch the Drew Peterson movie trailer? We got time, right? Like, just to show let's watch, like, just to give you a comparison of like what good acting is, because like when they said that, everybody was saying Tim Allen. Tim Allen would have made perfect fucking sense for Drew Peterson, but for some reason they went Rob Lowe and Untouchable. That's it, Untouchable. I'd do just like Untouchable trailer, but yeah, that'll probably pull it up. He was amazing. He really pulled off the character, and I don't feel like Bradley Cooper really did. As much as I don't dislike Bradley Cooper, I think he's a good actor. Just not in this movie. We've got no audio, by the way.
Yeah, just waiting for commercial.
Ah.
Okay.
Yo.
I want to know how many times you banged him.
Ooh, what? Oh, Sony picture!
Just tell me.
Hell yeah.
Is it fine?
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to ask, if North Korea is so great at hacking and they hacked in the Sony, I mean, what have they done for me lately?
I don't know who this person is.
North
Am I the
Korea?
only one who doesn't know who this Drew person is?
Just stop,
I'll
Sam.
explain.
You forget that I know. You're not the kind of girl that lets marriage stop you. You forget that I know what kind of whore you are.
Okay,
I
go
wanted
on.
to do Drew Peterson because I was shocked that they came to me.
All right, so you see, like, that's enough just to show, like, you bought that character. It's just a short piece, but you buy that character, and Sam, since you don't know who Drew Peterson is, you said?
Yeah, I missed that one.
Drew Peterson was a guy, it was a huge fucking story in, like, or I don't know, like 2011, 2012, around the Chicago area. He was from Bolingbrook, which is, like, right down the road from here. He was a Bolingbrook police officer. He had a wife who was quite a bit younger than him, and she died in a bathtub. She drowned in 1 inch of water. It was found to be...
Oh, I remember hearing about an inch of water.
Yeah, it was found to be an accident. They said that, like, he didn't do it or whatever, but then, like, 10 years later, he has another wife who's literally, like, he was, like, 50, and she was, like, 23, and she mysteriously disappeared. And so they reopened the investigation into the old one and this one. They never found Stacy Peterson. Nobody knows what happened to her, but he's in jail now because they went back and revisited the first case and found that he totally fucking did it. So he, like, he would marry super young women, and then, like, when they didn't want to be with a 50-year-old man, he would murder them. This happened twice. And, like, people around him said, I know a lady who knew him personally. She comes into my work all the time, and she mentioned recently she knew Drew Peterson. He would,
why
like,
would he marry him then?
Well, fucking young girls. He has a house and a car and a motorcycle. It looks like a really nice life till you get to know him. And I talked to this lady, and she said she knew him. She was like a friend of a friend. They were at the same parties and stuff all the time. Talked to him all the time. And I asked her, when this whole thing came out that, like, he might have murdered both of his wives, like, did you think that he did it? And she looked at me like, dead serious, and goes, absolutely, he fucking did it. I thought that he was a weirdo before all that came out. Like, everybody around him is like, yeah, he fucking did it.
Oh man,
but, like,
that just reminds me of my favorite author, Anne Rule, and, like, true crime stories, and, like, yeah, they always reflect on how, like, you know, the person acted or behaved, and, like, the other people's third party testimony of, like, oh, do you think that he was capable? Hell yeah, he was capable. He was a cop, and, like, he married these young hot chicks, makes them mow the lawn and stuff. Or
at the same time, like, you have to take that with a grain of salt, because, like, how many people, like, D-Lake, you're dating a girl, and all of a sudden she goes missing? Like, how many people in your life would take the chance to be on fucking Fox News and talk some shit about D-Lake and, like, oh, one time he was drunk and he said this, yeah, I think he did it. Like, how many people like that would come out of the fucking woodwork? A few, right? For not just for anybody. For Sam, for me, for Helena.
Well, probably not as many as Bill Cosby, but...
Well, but you don't know as many people as Bill Cosby.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
Drew
a serial
Peterson,
rapist.
like, that's the tough thing with me is, like, Drew Peterson, he went on, like, after the news started to, like, come in, like, people were hearing about it and the whole thing about his wife disappearing, and for the longest time it was like he was claiming he didn't know where she was. It was all over the radio and stuff, and he went and he did a radio show. Like, his wife's been missing, like, 2 months, and he goes and he does a win a date with Drew Peterson on the radio.
I didn't buy the Cosby thing. Too many people coming. It happened a long time. They would have said something. I'm not buying the Cosby thing.
I am. You know why? And I agree with you, Sam, but I disagree with you. I buy the Cosby thing, but I buy half of it. I think he raped half the amount of women that they actually say. I think that half the women were really raped and they didn't come out because nobody would believe them, blah, blah, blah. I think the other half saw a chance to jump on a bandwagon. But, I mean, when you have that many, if you have
50%, 50%.
Yeah, but I think Bill Clinton did it because they came out at different times and different ways. These all popped up at the same time.
Yeah, but if you got 20 people, and this is something that was known about before, it just never really made it into the news for whatever reason. But when you have 20 people saying you raped them, you raped at least one of them. You know, like, where do 20? It wasn't 20. I think it was 17 or 18. But still, like 17 or 18, you raped at least one of them. You did. Like, there's no way. And this is something that there were allegations in like the 70s and the 80s, but nobody took it seriously. I'm suspicious of why it's all coming out now. I'm suspicious of like why all of a sudden, because of Hannibal Buress, who's a comedian who nobody really knows anything about. He's not a headliner. He was opening for, I think, Louis C.K. I'm suspicious. It's not like he said it on a special. He said it in clubs around the country. But I'm suspicious of why it's coming out right now, because it's suspicious that all of a sudden, like around the time that Bill Cosby's telling the black community to get shit together, then all of a sudden this comes out. But that doesn't mean I don't think he did it. I think he did it, and like there were some people who had this in their back pocket, waiting for him to say something they didn't like. That's what I think.
Man,
just like, have you seen the movie The Firm?
Very questionable timing. Very questionable timing. Kyle, I would agree with that too.
It's like, have you seen the movie The Firm?
It's like you said.
Is that 20
people. 20 people.
No, it's with Tom Cruise. He cheated on his wife,
yes,
and they hold it against him so he doesn't talk about the accounting firm that he works for. I read the book too. John Grisham, I think.
Yeah, John Grisham, The Firm, good stuff. We're back on Doggy Cam, Kyle. We're trying to get a good shot. There she is. There's Helena.
Let's get her attention. Helena! Helena!
We really need another... Oh, there it is.
Helena! Hey, pup.
Need some more radar ears and head tilts for 1 million clicks. Helena!
Helena!
Tell her how much you love her.
I love you, Helena. You want a treat? You want a treat, Helena? You want to go on the bed?
Want a treat?
Oh, hey, I could think of something. If you can play a little piece of it and then comment on it as we go, it's only going to be good for to this weekend. Look up AC/DC Flat Balls. It is the single funniest parody you've ever heard. The radio station had played it, so it might be, or had made it, I should say. It might be,
Wait,
you might be allowed to play it.
Totally can't play songs.
It's a parody about the flat balls. It's a big ball.
Play a short piece.
It's really funny, and then like the whole thing is funny.
Short piece.
One second. Set it up just a little bit more, Sam. Hold on.
Oh, it's the AC/DC's Big Balls song, but it's making fun of the Patriots conspiracy, and I'm rooting for the Patriots because you can't not tackle a person because the ball is flat. They use this.
I hate you so much, Sam. Bringing the Super Bowl up.
Funny, really funny.
Okay,
I know this song.
They're already using copyrighted music, so.
Well, I've never been a fan of weird conspiracies.
It's just funny.
All this mock patriot chicanery. With the footballs, Belichick says not at all. The sporting pages say they use the flattest balls of all. Tom Brady's balls are very flat balls. They're deflated balls and they're dirty flat balls.
Okay, let's do just a little bit of commentary.
Yeah, if we don't
You're
do
both
commentary,
fired. Your logins won't work on the website anymore. How dare you bring up fucking deflated balls on the podcast?
They have nailed that accent, that Australian accent that Bon Scott had to a T.
And Bill's got flat balls, and Grant's got flat balls, but Tom's got the flattest balls of them all. Tom's balls were soft and squishy when they should be firm and full. So the league is Somebody's gonna check and check again. If they find the
They're taking that picture of him sitting down, putting it on water slides. That was pretty funny, Kyle. You don't look like you approve of this, Kyle.
I don't at all. I thought we had a rule, guys. But apparently you guys think it's okay to break that rule and talk about football. And I understand there's a place waiting for you to resist tyranny.
Tomorrow.
No, I'll tell you the main reason this matters, and I just mentioned this. A shout out to Jerry Blaze on Facebook. It matters because nothing is real anymore. You can't even gamble on it. I don't think the Patriots did this. I think it was something that was done to the Patriots without them even realizing it happened. I don't think you'd be able to pull that off without it being noticed. Someone did this on purpose. And it doesn't.
I agree with Kyle that this is not within our repertoire of expertise to talk about.
No, listen.
But I would say that it's not the fault of the team. It's the fault of the officials that didn't find it.
But
apparently, they only found out about it when a receiver for the other team, or not a receiver, but a defensive back for the other team caught an interception and said the ball was soft.
Well, the reason to cover it is because everything is rigged. Your promotion at work is rigged. The way you get promoted for this is rigged. The way you fucking have to renew your license, your traffic laws, your DUI laws, your taxes. You can't even gamble on a freaking game. And Kyle, that's why it matters. It's frustrating because
was that acceptable, Kyle?
Even leisure is rigged. We live in a world, in a nation where even your freaking leisure is rigged. That is frustrating.
Kyle, is this acceptable?
Football's for dumb people. You know what isn't rigged?
Tomorrow is the Super Bowl. And I was talking to my kid the other day. I was talking to my kid yesterday on the phone. And he's like, yeah, who are you picking in the Super Bowl? I was like, oh, man, the Patriots, I think? Are they playing?
Yeah.
The Rebellion, because
he knows more about it than I do, because his mom loves that shit.
Oh.
I don't know.
Hey, Helena, you getting pet over there? How's that going for you?
I was talking to my daughter, though, who is going to do some investigative reporting for me about her school lunches.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to take some pictures if she can for me and maybe do some write-ups because I was talking to her yesterday and she says, she's vegetarian and she says she got the Alfredo with 3 slices of cheese and the first slice was discolored. She peeled that back. She said the second slice was rancid and the third slice of cheese smelled like dead bodies.
Where was this at?
Can we go to Helena Cam just really quickly?
Where was that at?
He's getting a little tummy rub.
That was a school lunch that my daughter was telling me about, Sam. Oh, there's Helena.
Wow.
Oh. Who's petting her? Is that Megan? Can you get in there?
That's the person who's robbing me right now, but I'm in the middle of a podcast, so I can't go defend my home against them.
Robbing you of dog belly rubbing?
Fish and dog belly rubs, pretty much, yeah. We don't have anything.
The dog and the fish, and I'm out of here. Take the light bulbs out your lamp.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what comes from that, but yeah, school lunches have been disgusting for a very long time. Everybody acknowledges that. My parents, when I was a little kid,
it makes a lot of headlines, and I'm going to get my kid to help me with the report.
I would just throw that shit out, and they called my house, and they're like, we're worried about your son, he's not eating, and my mom just frankly told him, serve food then. They're like, he'll eat the peanut butter and jelly, but he won't eat the hot dog. He won't eat the fucking chop suey. And it's chop suey from a fucking school cafeteria? Are you kidding me? That's not happening. So yeah, she was just like, fuck you, give him better food then. But now they say you can't even bring your own food. You can't even bring a brown bag because that's racist.
That's fucking bullshit. Oh, brown bag? Yeah, that's racist. A
Somehow
brown bag? A brown bag?
I don't understand.
A white Christmas? A white Christmas? That's racist.
I blame the correct views personally, but Sam ran away.
Sam, Kyle, carry on for a second. It's all you and Helena. Helena Cam.
All right, we're going to Helena Cam. Helena sitting on the couch over there, having a good time, being a part of the show. She knows I'm talking about her. Helena. I know you can hear me. Stop pretending you can't. Just look at yourself and sleeping. Selena Cam, 1,000,000 clicks right there. Tiniest dog in the world. She's so small that her organs don't work. That's a fact. I'm amazed that she's alive. It's heroic. She's a hero. But I think this show's gone on way too long. I think it's time for us to start wrapping it up. Everybody else, D-Lake went to splash some water on his face. Sam's putting up some more camouflage mesh all over his apartment. He bought it in bulk. He puts it everywhere. He's got it in his bathroom, living room, outside of his window. It's good stuff. Somebody was like, I got all this camouflage mesh. Got to do something with it. And he found an answer. So, I guess while I'm waiting for these guys to come back, I'll give my wrap-up. I'm Kyle Phillips from themediaspeaks.com. You can find that shit by Googling it on the internet. If you can't do that, you're retarded, and I don't want you watching my show. So, let's go on the internet, type that in, The Media Speaks, and it will work. If it doesn't work, you have personal problems, and I don't want your emails. How do I listen and it won't play? Do I need to install an update for Active Flash? No, just...
I've got such a delay that I can't tell anything at all, so I hope I signed up correctly, and I hope you were able to hear me.
Yeah, go to the correct views on YouTube. Go to the correct views on the Media Speaks. Type in the correct views on the internet. That shit will come up, and you can watch. It's really simple.
And
I don't know why you're having an issue.
Yeah, what the hell is your problem? Thank you for watching on my channel, David Lake, on YouTube. This is going to be another amazing Saturday episode. I put out a special Welcome to the War episode this week. It's garnered over 2,477 views. 4 people like it. 6 people dislike it. But I'm kind of like the fat guy that eats a whole vat of Kraft macaroni and cheese. Like, even dislikes are still likes to me because that means that a lot of people are watching it. I had a few funny comments. 4 hours ago, someone said, "Let these imbeciles try to come to the United States. We got a little something for them." Ooh, I like this guy. I want them to come
from Lagunitas,
so we can scatter their brains on the pavement. ISIS is a joke. They prey on the weak. Let's see them try it with the strong. Americans would kill these people in no time flat. Well,
the strong Americans who sit around eating vats of Kraft macaroni and cheese?
Dude, that guy will get in the fight, dude. He'll be like, I challenge you to a macaroni eating contest.
I'm sorry, but no, can I just say really quickly while you're on this, can you go to my Facebook really quickly and pull up, there's my most recent post. Somebody posted this thing, and it was an article saying how, like, ISIS were defeated in Buckistan, whatever country. You can find it. I forget which country that it was. And they're like, ha! Those cowardly bastards were defeated. And here, you can probably find it on... No, that's my pony. Nope, higher. It was like the last thing that I posted before the show started.
I didn't go up. I'm not seeing it. I posted this to your page last night. It's not there.
What is going on? I know that... Here, I'll screen share. No, it wasn't on Twitter.
That dog looks a little bit like a rat in that picture. That's kind of cool.
My dog always looks like a rat in every picture.
Let's focus more on Kyle's My Little Pony running.
Here, do that while I...
I was thinking the other day, I didn't know what a brony was, but Kyle did. And now we have a running pony. Are you in fact a closet brony?
The dot is
I
gone.
love My Little Pony. It's so good that the storyline... No, I'm not. I find bronies hilarious. All right. Look at my screen share if you can put that up. This person, this is what they posted, and this was just today, and this is somebody that I'm sadly friends with. And
wait, why is that blocked from my version of your page?
I'm questioning that too. We'll try and figure. Let me make sure that I didn't accidentally post this just for me.
Dude, you have a bunch of posts that aren't showing up on my page.
Oh, you know what? Public. For some reason, it went to because the last thing that I posted was only for me. I don't know why I did that. That was annoying. All right, so now you should be able to see it. But this post, it was ISIS. The article is ISIS bodies line Kobani streets after Kurdish claim victory, and the person says, yes, their cowardly corpses line the streets, bodies of ISIS terrorists, blah blah blah. Here's the thing, you guys know me. I believe in honesty and never using like bullshit tactics to try and get people to agree with you, because all that does is show you as a bullshitter and make people see you as such and not believe anything that you say. The same thing is like when Obama did the police cameras, the chest cameras on people. I'm not going to look for some reason why that's bad. That's a good thing, and I'm going to give him credit for it, because if I don't, then anything I say from that point forward is looked at as bullshit. Now, ISIS, horrible. I hope that they are defeated. I hope that we eliminate them, because they're a threat not just to the United States, but to Russia, China, all countries everywhere. Very, very evil people. Yes, very, very evil people who need to be destroyed. Now, having that said, not fucking cowards. Like, you have to have a lot of balls to join ISIS, right? Like, ISIS is like you're going up against all the superpowers of the world, not just the United States. Like I said, China and Russia as well, and France, and Britain. You're going up against all the most powerful Western countries in the world as a group of like a few 100,000 like militants in the middle of desert sandland with like weapons from the 80s and brand new F-150s somehow, but that's a whole nother thing. But you are pretty much doomed to fail, doomed to die, doomed to go out as a martyr. Like, the last thing you are is a coward. Now, you are an evil person, and you have balls, though. Like, you have evil balls, but you do have balls to do that, right? Like, cowardly is not the right word. And I don't believe in, like, misrepresenting people, even if they are evil, because it makes anything else that you say from that point forward, like, null and void. Am I going too far with this?
Well, no, Kyle. I mean, I would think that would be an American journalist's way of sort of pseudo-attack, or just a blogger or somebody that commented on your page. I would see that as a way of them not trying to intimidate ISIS, but in a way like trying to call them out, being like, oh, you guys are cowards. It's like, but maybe Kyle's right. Like, dude, it's not a cowardly person that
it's an evil person.
An evil person that bows this Kurdish guy down in the street. If we're on my screen share, and the report that I did this week, where these ISIS fighter clowns are getting really bold now, saying, "No, Obama, we will reach America." My video report is them threatening Obama with beheading in the White House. Look, I had the day off, and I was not the day off, but I had free time to get on air. I did a 16-minute video. Ellen Aliska says, damn, this guy sounds like a joke. I go to her page. She just got on YouTube last month, has 0 videos and 0 subs, and I sound like a joke? Okay, thanks!
So
thanks, Ellen! And then Dan Decker said, I think you should pressure yourself to be a little more serious and focused with your news report. And I said, damn you, Dan. Your comment has gotten under my skin. Check out a few of my earlier over 300 videos and all your videos about playing guitar. I've been plenty serious and focused. Yeah, everyone go check out my previous reports.
Yeah, check out David Lake, who plays guitar on YouTube. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he plays good guitar. Sometimes, though, I just let it rip, which was the case the other night. If you want the serious version, go watch Fox News. I'm the alternative, with cursing and free-flowing thoughts. And I did. Ah! I have a surprise for you. It's poop. Yeah, they're off the cuff sparks of brilliance. Like, I have a surprise for you. It's poop. 4.
Died.
Is a mouthful of baby penis? Sam, are you there? For a more straightforward approach to news reporting online, please check out my co-host of The Media Speaks, Sam DeGangi, at youtube.com/The Correct Views, and our team reporting at themediaspeaks.com. Look.
Yeah, Sam's the serious one. Everybody knows that.
Sam is the sick. And Court is the serious one. I wish he would be on.
Yeah, Sam and Court are the serious ones.
And look, Helena. I mean, she's not joking
Helena's
around.
serious as fuck.
Fucking
Helena doesn't
fuck.
Helena doesn't fuck around. She just sits there, looks at you with her little marbly eyes, and makes weird noises under her breath.
If I could give myself a little bit of credit here, I've done plenty of serious focus reports, but also to give myself credit.
I haven't, but
early on after, well, you're no star 515. But early on, after the reporter contest, I became aware of another one of the contestants named Sam DeGangi, and I started watching his reporting.
Hero.
And look, I mean, I'm gonna give myself a little credit and toot my horn here. I was sort of the fucking scout. I was sort of the talent scout on picking up Sam. Invited him on the show, had him on a few times. Now he's a permanent member of the team. Do you want to be a permanent member of the Media Speaks? Do awesome reporting. I'll talent scout you out and try to get you on.
Yeah, or run circles. If you run circles on top of a purple blanket like Helena, that might get you on the show too. That is a possibility.
If you could eat a vat of Kraft macaroni and cheese with your shirt off, you might be on the show.
Yeah, if you can eat a vat of Kraft macaroni and cheese or run around in circles, get really excited for a treat, that is also a way that you might get on the show.
I'm on I'm on the Helena cam right now watching her run around in circles. 1 million views for
That's
Helena.
how you get it. That's how you get it. Excited.
What? Give her the treat already. She's going nuts.
There's probably more treats. Oh, there goes one.
Oh, there goes one.
She takes those treats fucking seriously. She takes treats more seriously than ISIS.
Yeah. ISIS? ISIS what? A circle?
ISIS what? Oh, fucking chicken treat. Delicious.
Chicken?
Alright, I think it's time to wrap it up, D-Leg. Let's wrap it up on the pump cam.
On doggy cam. Alright, everyone, everyone go on the internet, and if you don't find the Media Speaks, you're no smarter than a dog that runs in circles for chicken treats, okay?
Uh-oh.
What?
There's more treats coming. That's
Wait,
the
what?
face she gives when you go into the closet. All right, yeah. Go on the internet, type in the Media Speaks. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be on the internet at all. TheMediaSpeaks.com, The Media Speaks on Twitter, The Media Speaks on Facebook, The Media Speaks on Tumblr. Oh, wait, we don't have a Tumblr because we have a real website because we're professional.
That we are. Thanks again for watching TheMediaSpeaks.com special live Saturday news report featuring Fat Man Eats Vat of Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. To our one viewer, you are super special in our heart, and we appreciate you sticking around for all this wonderful entertainment.
And if you're in Southern Ohio, go to Frickers. Get some freaking chicken chunks, some curly fries, you know?
Yeah, when you walk into Frickers, you make this face that Helena's making right now.
Yeah, like, treats.
Any more treats? Did I lose one here in the folds of the sheets?